Hi guys, it's Mrs. Davis. So this is our continuation of our Beta Bear Academy drawing Grizzly level. And this honestly is probably my favorite part. This is fun. So we're going to create a vector graphic. Basically what that means is it's really focused on shapes and lines, but it can be completely our own, and that's what makes it fun. I'm going to start by inserting an image. I'm going to use the search tool. And for this, I just want to think about something I like. So let's keep with the Grizzly theme, and we're going to say a bear. All right, so these pictures are very detailed, and simple is better when you get started with this. So I kind of like those teddy bears. They're sort of cute. Let's go up here to this little guy. Nah, I'm going to change it. Right here where it says any type, I want something a little more cartoony for this. That's just my opinion. I'm going to hit clip art. Now that's a little more cartoony, right? So I sort of like this guy's confused face. So we're going to use him. And there he is. So I'm going to resize this just a tiny bit. Now notice we have our canvas back here. I'm going to take my image and slide it off of my canvas, and I'm going to use that red line to center it. All right? And now it gives me a bar to slide back and forth. So what I'm going to do, first I'm going to look at this and think, wow, I've got some really nice sort of circles I can work with on this, but we're also going to use the polyline tool. So for this, I'm going to start with my circles, because when we can do great big shapes like that, it's a lot easier. So, I don't know, that's about his head size. I'm going to do my fill color as transparent so I can move this over and really size it up to our bear's head. All right, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and keep making some more circles, because this guy really is made of a lot of circles. All right, let's go ahead and get that nose. That looks about right. Maybe a little taller. There we go. Okay. And there we have that. An eyeball or two here. I'll make that just a tiny bit bigger. And for this one, I'm going to do my Control-C to copy it, my Control-V to paste it. All right, I'm going to move that over this eye, so now I've got two eyes. Okay, and let's go ahead and do the ears while we're at it. Now, you can't always do your shapes using the circles and you know, ready-made shapes, but this one's already so circular it's easy to do. So I'm going to copy that and paste it and line this one up over here. All right, so I've got lots of circles. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hold down my Shift key and select all of the circles that I created. All right, now I'm going to hold down my Shift key again, and I'm going to drag those over here, and I'm going to center it. Now, why do I hold down the Shift key? When I hold down the Shift key and drag, I cannot move my image up and down. I can only move my image left and right. This ensures that I am lined up with this image, so when I make changes, I can drag them right over here. All right, so let's look at some coloring and some layering. So if I look at this first circle that I made, I definitely want to make that kind of a, oh, the browns are never very good on this palette, so we'll just go with what we have. Oops, I did a line color. My bad. Do my fill color, and I'm going to do transparent lines. So then I can also do these ears the same color. Transparent line. Same color with a transparent line. I'm going to fill these colors with black. Or these eyes, I'm sorry. They're going to be black. The nose is going to be black. The mouth is going to be black. And this muzzle area, we're going to give that kind of a yellowy color. All right, so now we need to look at our ears here. So if I look at these ears, I want to use my zoom tool, and I'm going to zoom in on these ears so I can get this sort of raggedy, fuzzy. For this one, I'm going to use my polyline tool. So here's line, polyline. And each time I click, it creates an angle in my line. This is why you want to be zoomed in. It's a lot easier to do this when you're closer to the subject. Now, the goal here, oh, and I messed it up. So I double clicked on my line so it didn't close my image. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that and try that again. I've got my polyline tool again. What I was going to say is the goal of this is to create a closed shape. And we want it to be a closed shape so that we can add color. If you don't close it, see now watch it snaps to, wink. If you don't close it, then you can't add any color to it. All right, I'm going to scroll over here and go ahead and do this ear while I'm at it. There we go. And I'm going to zoom back out. Notice this is my zoom back out as the box right here. And I'm going to use my select tool, hold down shift so I can get both of them. That keeps my spacing between them the same. Hold down my shift key and, oops, I got my whole picture. I don't want that. I only want these guys. There we go. I'm going to unclick that. There we go. Oh, it's being hateful. Okay. All right, and I can nudge these a little by holding down my shift key and using my arrow keys. All right. That looks about right. And we're going to go ahead and fill those with that same yellow color. And I'm going to get rid of my line. All right, now I can start adding some details. You can see this sort of a dark brown right here. So if I zoom in on that, and I use my polyline tool, and I don't have to be super particular on this. Remember, it's all about lines and shapes and colors. Oops, did it again. So you can tell there needs to be some patience when you're doing these kinds of things. It is creative. And if you get impatient with it, you make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But there's no reason to get crabby when you make mistakes. There we go. So it looks like he's wearing a little toupee here. I'm going to zoom back out. Use my select tool. I'm going to drag that over to the crown of his head. And I'm going to try and make that a little darker, darker color. So since I was using such a dark color to begin with, I'm going to go here to custom. Oops. Select that, and then I'm going to go to custom. And now I can make that a little darker right here. I'm going to get rid of my line. And so now it looks more like a shading. And so I can continue to do that on the other dark spaces. Now I can sort of cheat on this because I can always put that behind the muzzle. Because remember, we're working in layers. We always have layers in drawings. All right, there's another dark spot on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and do that at the same time. And you can see we've got even a darker spot around the ear, and we could do that separately and use a darker brown. Now the fun part is when you do graphics like this, you can totally change all the colors. This could be a purple bear with pink ears and polka dotted muzzle if we wanted to. Okay, so I've got those 2 more dark spots. I'm going to go ahead and grab both of those and drag them over here. All right, and I'm going to just nudge them down using the Shift key. There we go. And I'm going to go here, and here's that custom color I created. And I'm going to say transparent line. So now my bear is starting to take on a bit of a three-dimensional appearance because of shadow. Now, in order to keep this a little shorter, I'm not going to worry about all of the different things. You can do that on your own. But what I can do now is think about how do I want to use this image. So I can select the whole thing, and I'm going to move my image up here to the corner a little bit of space around him. And I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to resize my canvas to fit. Now remember, anything that's off the canvas is not going to show. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a name, Bear Vector Graphic. And I'm going to select File and Download As. Now, I'm going to stop the video right here to give you a chance to play with your Google Drawings, create your own vector graphic. And then the next video we'll talk about these different file types so you can decide how you want to save your vector graphic for whatever job you want to use it for. Okay, have fun. This is supposed to be fun. Okay.